Resident Evil 30th anniversary.
Nope. Can't hear you.
Get out then.
Hold on.
All right. Anyways, all right. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for Michael Wesker to come back. But I don't know why it's always let that here. Also, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Michael Wesker is here, ladies and gentlemen. I never thought that we would see the day where I can say this, but welcome to the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil. Yeah, it's been 30 years, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game Raider Podcast.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Anyways, guys, how's everyone doing on this Thursday afternoon? I am Leo, aka Leo Reckless, aka Reckless Fox, aka Black Geese Howard, head of the Black Howard Connect, aka Kid Catch a Fade, Fisto, Mace Windu II, adopted son of Flynn, Captain Black America, Gin and Juice Kazuma, and Common Rider Compton Knight, Henshin, my boys. Rocking me today is New York's finest, Staten Island's finest, the man who has said time and time again the New York Knicks will win the NBA Finals, and we'll see about that. I'll keep it optimistic because I told him I would get a jersey if it does happen. We got we got my boy Michael B. How you doing, Mike?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How's it going? How's everyone's Thursday?
All right, then. And my opening comment is once again, it is the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil. 30 years, people, and as you saw, if you follow us on Instagram, you already know. Today we are talking about Resident Evil, and just like our discussion with Pokemon previously, a few episodes ago, we're just gonna be talking about the franchise as a whole, our favorite moments when we both started playing it. And we got some news about certain expansion packs, and apparently people are scalping the Switch 2 version, and an update about the Resident Evil movie where I might have to apologize to Zach Kreger. Before we get
Oh,
to
that'll
that,
be the day.
no, and there's a reason why. I think maybe I spoke a little too soon. Housekeeping. If you are new to the Buttery Show, by the way, thank you guys so much who are watching currently. We are streaming live on Twitch, on YouTube, and on our Facebook page. We do apologize for being late. The 405 was backed up. If you're in the LA area, you know that the 405 was backed up, and also spring break is over. That does mean that kids are back in school, which
Not in New York.
which also means that I'm coming from the valley, and I was running late. I thought I was gonna be here by 1 o'clock. I ended up being here by 1:45. So I do apologize for us being late. We'll make sure we'll be on time next week. But if you haven't yet, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Buttery Show, and also facebook.com/The Buttery Show, and also be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Buttery Show. Chat, we love you. Also, we do have a couple of community questions for today, and let me tell you something. I might be pissing some people off today on what I'm going to be talking about. But chat, we love you. If you got any questions, be sure it's on our Instagram page still. Go on our Instagram, follow that link. Be sure to type in your little questions, and we will read them live. But I do have the two that we read live. If you're an anime fan, prepare yourselves. If you haven't yet, be sure to follow me on Twitch and Instagram at the Reckless_Fox and twitch.tv/RecklessFox. Mike, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me over at TikTok at RedFalcon212, Instagram Red Ranger 2134, and Facebook under Michael Brogdon.
All right, then. With that being said, let's get started. Mike, how you been, bro?
I'm good. My wife made some teriyaki wings, sweet and sour wings, and lemon pepper wings. So I just been a fat ass.
Dude, that's. I'm gonna need y'all to like come to LA sooner rather than later, like today. You know what I'm saying? Because you talking about all this good food, and I'm like, bro, I need this good food in my life. I need it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been eating healthy. I'm trying to keep in shape and stuff. But good food is good food. So I'm gonna need y'all to like kick down some recipes, or start sending me some plates, expedite them. You know what I'm saying? immediately today, pronto. Cause y'all coming to LA for Power Morphicon. I need y'all to be here like a little sooner, maybe like this week or something like that.
Oh my gosh. But yes, we will be out there for Power Morphicon because I am working the convention.
All right then. And then for me, I've been good. Once again, I'm gonna keep. This is gonna be the thing I'm gonna be saying on a daily basis. I hate 911. Because because every time I thought it wasn't gonna make me cry, I've cried many times watching 911. I even called you. At this point, people, in case you want to know what Mike and I's relationship is, I will call him in the middle of the day or in the middle of me going to my class, my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, or dropping off his nephew or picking up his nephew, and I am just talking about 911. We have a 911 discussion almost every day. We talk and we shoot the shot of being dads and stuff. That's essentially what we do.
Yeah, and also I just want to give a shout out to my wife, Faith Booker, who apparently is watching right now via YouTube
I
and showing
know,
love.
I know. Yeah, and people be sure to share this with your loved ones too. We appreciate that too. With that being said, I do have a bit. This is breaking news. This just happened. This is coming from Screen Thrill, and it's also coming from IGN. That
Hmm?
Well, no, I don't think it's IGN. The Metal Gear Solid movie is now in the works at Sony, and the director is the same director to Final Destination Bloodlines.
You're joking.
I am dead serious. This is hot off the news right now. I literally just saw it. No, it's coming, and it's also coming from CBR. Metal Gear Solid movie officially in the works from the Final Destination Bloodlines director.
Wow.
This is not a drill, people. I know we're supposed to be talking about Resident Evil, but this is not a drill. It's
It's
happening.
not, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
It's happening. I don't have the damn. I don't have the thing, but yeah, it's happening. I might work on that later. I'll post it for the next podcast. But
Mhm.
if you remember the thing from Michael Scott, oh my God, it's happening. Stay calm. That's how I feel right now.
Mm-mm.
Okay, y'all know me. I'm a big, like, if there's 3 franchises that will forever be near and dear to my heart: Metal Gear, Resident Evil, and Street Fighter. Those are my top 3 franchises right there. But wow. Okay. So, going into it, as our main discussion for today. Let's talk about Resident Evil. Now, Resident Evil, ladies and gentlemen, has been around since 1996. This is the 30th anniversary from humble beginnings of being the first of to innovate the franchise the horror franchise genre in video games, to being the most beloved franchise today. We are 9 entries in, several spin-offs. Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil Code Veronica, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 9. I haven't even gone into the spin-offs, like the Resident Evil Survivor series, which were ass.
Mm-mm.
Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, which were really good. Resident Evil Outbreak, criminally underrated and need to get remastered like as soon as possible. Umbrella Corps, we don't talk about it. Operation Raccoon City, we don't talk about that. Am I missing anything? Oh,
No.
all the
Wait.
ports to the games. Resident Evil 4, GameCube, PlayStation 2, was re-released twice on PC. One was worked on by Ubisoft, and the other was worked on by Capcom. Then released again on the PS3, the 360, the Nintendo Wii, the 3DS,
Mm.
the Wii U, the Switch. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on the Switch too at some point. The PS4, the Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, the PS5. And there was some really weird Brazilian console that had it too. I don't remember the name of it, but it's on there. And you can play it on your Android, on your iPhone. I'm pretty sure it's a calculator game just like Doom. Resident Evil 4 is
Probably.
everywhere. And then they re-released it on re-released Resident Evil 5 and 6 on all the other platforms outside the PlayStation 3 and 360, which you could have got the game on. It was on it's now on the Switch, it's on the PS4, and it's on the Xbox Series X and S, and you can also play them on your PS5 now. The Resident Evil franchise has been hard in the paint.
Mm.
And as I said before, people, I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I've been a fan since Resident Evil 2. And the way I got into Resident Evil, I couldn't play Resident Evil when I was a kid. Why? Because I was still a freaking child. And around that time, if you were under the age of 13, you couldn't play rated M games. In my camp, you couldn't do it. Okay? But Resident Evil 4 was my first Resident Evil game I actually played. The rest of the time I watched my brother play it. So I watched my brother play the Resident Evil games, including Dino Crisis 1 and Dino Crisis 2, because they're spin-offs to Resident Evil as well. They're different universe.
Mm.
And Resident Evil also got me into the zombie genre in horror. I'm forever grateful for Resident Evil for that. But Mike, when was your first exposure, and what was the first Resident Evil game you played?
My first exposure was actually the Resident Evil movies.
What?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Damn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Nah, it's all good. That was my first exposure to the Resident Evil franchise, the movies, and then the games I played. I actually looked up Resident Evil 2.
Okay, so Resident Evil 2 was officially your first game.
Yeah.
Okay. See, and you know what? That's a well-respected game to start off on.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: I have played almost every Resident Evil game. At this point, because I'm 31 now. I think what was your favorite? I will say this: my favorite game in the franchise. I would easily go with Resident Evil 4 because it is my first, but it honestly goes back and forth between RE2 Remake and the original Resident Evil 3 Red Nemesis.
Yeah.
I would say this: Resident Evil 3 Remake. I know a lot of people are not fans of the game because it was short, and then they cut out the clock tower segment of the game.
And there we go.
But I still enjoyed it for what it was. But it does not hold a candle to the original Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 Red Nemesis, literally, I played that game in college, and even though it was almost 20 years old, because around the time I played it, it was like 2016. It still scared the hell out of me. And I'm like 22 at the time. I'm 22 years old playing this game. I'm like, this shit scares me. So that's just me. But I would honestly say Resident Evil 2 Remake. Resident Evil 2 Remake is probably by far my favorite game in the franchise. But what about you?
Yeah, and honestly, I haven't played Resident Evil 9 yet because I'm waiting for you.
I haven't. You gotta wait because I'm gonna be starting Resident Evil 8 Villages probably sometime next week.
Resident Evil. Hold on, because I have the remake to Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually and I like it.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I thought it was gonna suck, but
really,
I was wrong.
I mean, like it's a matter of opinion. I would say this: I'll never forget one of my favorite moments in Resident Evil. It wasn't even the video game. The trailer that dropped for Resident Evil 2 Remake at E3 2018.
Mm.
In case you guys have never Some of y'all who have been following me on my YouTube since 2014, 2015, y'all remember when I did a live reaction during for the Scrunkle podcast. We did a live reaction, myself and my boy GC. Shout out to GC if he's watching. Um, we did a live reaction to the Sony press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, when that trailer dropped for RE2 Remake, and we didn't know what it was until we saw the sheriff's department and we noticed what it looked like. I think it's a Raccoon City Sheriff's Department.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see the zombie get shot and the reveal of Leon, glorious. It was a glorious moment where we couldn't believe it. We were shocked.
Like glorious.
And the only thing we could say was this.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
I can't.
On top of that, they had a playable demo at E3, and we went to that E3 the following day.
Really?
Yeah, because a little history lesson, people. So at E3, what do you call it? I got a ticket to go to E3. We were going as press, general admission and / press, because we interviewed a lot of indie developers at E3 2018. So the day before, all the conferences happen on Sunday and on Monday. That Tuesday, if I remember correctly, that Tuesday morning was the Nintendo press conference. But then later that Tuesday, because E3 only lasts 3 days. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that Monday was the Sony press conference. And let me tell you, dog. Let me tell you something.
Smoker.
When we got to that line, when we went to E3 later that day on Tuesday, we stood in that line for almost two, maybe 3 hours to play the playable demo for Resident Evil 2.
Sheesh.
We got game footage and everything. I'll send you the video. I still have the video, but my God, we came out there like you remember how in Big Bang Theory when everyone saw The Force Awakens, and
yeah,
Wheaton was like, I enjoyed that better than I thought. What did you guys think? That was me with Resident Evil 2 Remake. And to know that game was going to be coming out at the end of the year, going to the beginning of January, I'm like, That was my favorite moment in Resident Evil, being a Resident Evil fan. Because, Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6, they came and went. Then Resident Evil 7, that Resident Evil 7's reveal was really cool because it had nothing to do with any of the original stories, any of the rest of the story that took place during Resident Evil 6. There was no Leon. There was none of the main characters that we knew.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it was still within the lore of Resident Evil, but doing something different, which we will discuss at the end of the show. I enjoyed that moment. That was just me. I have no idea. We were talking about favorite moments in Resident Evil. Okay, matter of fact, here's one. What was your favorite out of all the games in Resident Evil? What was one of your favorite moments? It could be from any game.
I can't really say because I skipped a few of them.
That's fine. Well, talk about the one? I would say talk about the ones that you remember wholeheartedly.
Man, I'm already old. I'm already pushing 33.
We're the same age. Okay, we're roughly the same age. You can't
making me think back. But I'll be honest with you. My favorite moment. Resident Evil. Dang, I can't. I'll be honest with you. It's not really a game. It's more like the movie.
Okay.
Resident Evil 2.
Apocalypse?
Yes.
Oh. We got if we don't be talking, man. Let me tell you something about the Resident Evil movies. But continue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say it was that final battle between Alice and I think it was either her brother or her lover or something like that.
The Nemesis monster.
Yes.
Boyfriend. Yeah.
Yes. That right there. That was like one of my favorite scenes.
I would say this as someone. I will. I know at one point, in case you guys want to know, we will review the Resident Evil movies soon. Not now, but soon. All the Paul W.S. Anderson movies we're going to be reviewing. Okay. However, I would easily say one of my favorite. If we're talking about Resident Evil movies, there's only one movie there's only one scene that's undisputed to me. GTA mother bow. Points. Mike Epps honestly was the best part of Resident Evil Apocalypse. I have a lot of issues with Resident Evil Apocalypse. I have a lot of issues with the Paul W.S. Anderson movies as a whole. But I can only talk about the first 4 because I ain't watched Retribution. I ain't watched Final Chapter. So we will be when we review the movies, we're going in blind for those 2 movies. I'm going in blind for those 2 movies.
Oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
I know that in 5, from what I remember, I don't remember too much, and I want to keep it that way. Michelle Rodriguez's character comes back. Homie from The Mummy, his character who plays Carlos Olivero, he comes back even though they're both dead. I don't know how they bring them back, but they come back. Jill is under Wesker's possession because Wesker's still alive, and Leon, Barry, and Ada show up.
Oh, Leon!
And if I remember correctly, Hunk is in it too. I'm gonna say this right now: if you do any of my favorite characters dirty, the number of F-bombs are gonna go from 2 to 10. I'm just letting you know now. Oh, we lost him. Oh no, Wesker got to Mike. He was, but I will say this: the Resident Evil, because I know we're gonna talk about the Resident Evil movies a little bit more. I will say this: the first 3 were fine. I don't really have too many problems with the first 3 Resident Evil movies. It's Afterlife that I have a big issue with.
Oh yeah.
But I would say my favorite moment outside of the moment I talked about, and we're talking about in-game moments. I have 2. In Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, when you fight the Nemesis during the Clock Tower segment before you switch from Jill to Carlos. I love that moment specifically because I learned the dodge technique. And if anyone remembers when I was doing my Halloween streams back in 2016, I learned that dodge mechanic very well. So when I was fighting Nemesis as Jill, every time you tried to hit, it was dodge, dodge, parry, dodge, dodge. It was awesome. I freaking love that. And then obviously we will all fantasize about punching a boulder because of Chris Redfield. When Chris punched the freaking boulder in Resident Evil 5 to get it to move. There is not enough. There is not enough testosterone in the world to explain what kind of anime BS that was. But we accepted it. There are a lot of things in Resident Evil 5 that we accepted, and one of them was Chris punching the boulder.
I like that boulder.
That is a nice boulder.
The fact that that's the one thing we will not argue about. Everything else we'll argue. The fact that they're in an active volcano and they're not burning up.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
How Chris went from what he looked like in Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil Code Veronica to a big cornbread fed motherfucker walking sideways through doors. We can argue that all day, every day. But the boulder, we don't argue about the boulder. Do not come to us about the boulder, because this is what we're gonna tell you.
You talking to me?
I done told you! Take your drunk ass home!
I can't.
I love it. Do you appreciate the fact that I put that on there now?
Yes.
Okay, favorite characters now, because I know when we talked about Pokemon, we talked about our favorite like Pokemon. Who was your favorite character in Resident Evil?
Leon.
Oh my god. Okay, who's your favorite character that's not Leon or Chris? There you go.
Punk.
Okay. That's valid. I'll give you that. For me,
What's wrong with Leon?
no, I'm saying it's a valid answer. No, that's good. I'll give it to you. I'm not gonna argue with you about that because everyone's gonna always say Leon or Chris. We all know that. Some might say Ethan. I'm just saying. Some might say Ethan. Ethan's not my favorite character, but I gravitate towards him because he had an effed up situation. He made the best of it. But I will go ahead and say Claire. Claire's my favorite character. She does not get
She
Claire.
got big boobs.
What?
Shout out to my wife.
No, we ain't going. No, it's not because of that. Claire has just been. I'll say this. I love Claire because Claire went from I was honestly just going to the city to look for my brother to adopting a child because let's just face it, she became Sherry's adopted mama.
Yeah.
We all know that we in lore we know that Sherry did have other family, so she did have legal guardians to protect her after everything that did happen with Umbrella. And we know that she has Wolverine regenerative abilities that we only see one time in Resident Evil 6. Which, again...
We were robbed!
Bro, we were robbed of having... Honestly, I would be okay if there was a game that where Sherry is the main character. If Sherry was the main character to a Resident Evil game, I'd be completely fine with it. Sherry Birkin does need her own standalone game. I'm just gonna say that right now, where she does have her Wolverine regenerative abilities. Because in case you guys want to know, like, how does this little girl have regenerative abilities? If you play Resident Evil 6, her campaign with Jake Wesker, Albert Wesker's son. For those y'all who want to know, I don't know what girl put out to let Wesker clap cheeks. I don't know. That's never crossed my mind. I don't want to know. It's the same way I feel about Trace from Gundam Wing. How Trace has a daughter, who put out, I don't know, and I don't care, and I don't want to think about it. But Jake, during her campaign with her and Jake saves her because she had like a piece of like of a helicopter like in her, and he yanked it out. And all of a sudden, her regenerative abilities came out back like Wolverine. I'm like, how the hell does she not have this ability throughout the game?
For real, like I said, we were robbed.
If you're telling me that Sherry has a healing factor, this should play a big role in Resident Evil 6. And the fact that it doesn't is Capcom. I don't know what you were smoking, but this is what I have to say. Y'all dropped the ball on that. But I would say this. Claire was definitely... I know a lot of people want to say, like, oh, Ada's number one waifu, or Jill's number one waifu. No, Claire's mine. Because she was just surviving.
Yes.
What's up, Claire? How you doing? Just surviving. I love Claire. And I was glad to see her come back in... game-wise, I was glad to see she came back in Resident Evil Revelations 2, and she teamed up with Barry's daughter. I have not finished Resident Evil Revelations 2, so please don't spoil it. I'm on the final chapter. I have not finished it yet. But yeah, that's about it. And then I would say, we talked about our favorite games, we talked about our favorite moments, we talked about when we started playing it, and we talked about our favorite characters. I would honestly say, going forward, here's to another 10 years, because you never know. considering the fact that we are potentially going to be getting a remake to the first game again, but using the RE engine that we have now,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that we're going to be getting a Code Veronica game, and we're going to be getting a Resident Evil X or Resident Evil 10 at some point, we don't know where the franchise is going to go. I will just say this, going into the future, is that I would love a Sherry Birkin game, a Sherry Birkin spinoff.
Same here.
I would love for Hunk to get his own video game. And I'm not talking the Operation Raccoon City bullcrap we got. And honestly, can we confirm that Chris got with Sheva?
I don't know.
I want Chris and Sheva to be a thing. I know everyone wants to ship Chris and Jill. If Jill has not given Chris the chance, then she's never gonna give him the chance. Sheva Alamore, though, the only black woman in the series, that's Chris. That's for Chris right there. Because she checked him. Every single time Chris was trying to think with his emotions and not logically, Sheva was there to check his behind. And I love that.
Same here.
We need more. So Capcom, bring Sheva back. And bring Josh back while you're at it too. Because Josh, you got the only 2 surviving black people in Resident Evil. Bring them back. I want to know how they doing.
Bring them back. Bring them back.
Bring them back. But that's just me. Hopefully, here's to another 10 years. We love Resident Evil here. You will never hear us complain unless the game is actual trash, like Umbrella Corps.
Yeah, or Raccoon City.
Or Raccoon City. And again, I need an explanation. Because the way y'all did Sherry with her healing factor, you might as well have just done this.
There's a simple explanation for that.
No. Hell no.
But what about you, Mike? Because we're gonna get into the Resident Evil news in a second.
No, I agree with you 110%. Bring them back. Bring them back.
Anyways, all right. So here's a couple pieces of Resident Evil news, and then we're gonna get out of here. This is coming from give me 1 second.
Oh.
Sorry. There we go. This is coming from thegamer.com. So give me 1 second. Here it is. Oh no, wrong one. My bad, people. Just here it is. So, Resident Evil Requiem copies were hit by Scalp. Oh, gee, no, this is not the one. Hold on.
Oh no.
Sorry about that. Well, okay. Here's the best way to put it. So there is going to be a Resident Evil Generations, collector's edition coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2, which comes, if I remember correctly, it does come with Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, and Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Okay. Oh no! Here it is. I found it. Sorry about that. I grabbed the wrong story. So this is coming from thegamer.com. Resident Evil Generations pack targeted by scalpers, even though it's still available. The Nintendo Switch exclusive Resident Evil Generations is predictably being sold by scalpers on resale sites for quite a bit more than its MSRP. The thing is, since retailers haven't sold out of Generations physical copies, you can still buy it for the regular price. Nintendo and Capcom were clear from the outset that Resident Evil Generations pack, which bundles the Switch 2 version of Resident Evil 7, 8, and Requiem, would be getting a Super Mario 3D All-Stars treatment. So in case you guys don't know, back during COVID, the Mario 3D All-Stars game, which came with Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, they were selling it for a limited time only. In fact, I have my copy of the games of the trilogy on the Switch, because then they were going to be taken off the shelves. By that, which goes in that. By that, it would only be available for a limited time. I'm not sure why Nintendo pulls this tactic. But as soon as the pack was revealed, it was confirmed it would be delisted on March the 31st, 2026. But it's still available right now. You can still buy the Generations pack at Best Buy and Amazon. That did indeed happen. You can no longer buy the Generations pack through the Switch 2's eShop. However, the pack got physical release, and unlike All Stars, retailers were not forced to remove stocks from the shop floor on delisting day. Both Amazon and Best Buy still have physical copies of the Generational pack in stock. You could get it for $90. And by $90, I know that Switch 2 games are pretty expensive nowadays. This is actually worth the $90 right here. If you're getting 3 games for $90, honestly, that's a steal. That's a major steal. So
it is.
So if you were deciding on whether or not you're gonna buy the game, if you're gonna get the Switch 2 versions, get them. And if they're in physical, if they're available for physical copies, get them. Because again, going back to what I was saying, Mario 3D All Stars, there was a physical copy and you get the digital versions, but they were available for a limited time. And I don't know. I have not checked. I don't know how much Mario 3D All Stars is now. I'm actually gonna look it up. But at the time I got the game, it was $60. And this is during COVID. Like I pre-ordered it ahead of time. The moment I found out about that, I wanted to get it because obviously I want to preserve physical copies and preserve gaming history.
Yeah.
But no, what are your thoughts? I kind of figured they're gonna pull some tactics like this, but what are your thoughts? Go ahead.
Nah, I agree. Like I kind of figured they were gonna pull something like this as well.
Oh shoot. Okay. So, do you want to know? I'm gonna show y'all really quick. Going back to what I was saying about Mario, if you decide to buy Mario 3D All Stars, on Amazon,
How much is it?
look at it.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
So I'm glad I bought my copy during COVID. I'm so glad I bought my copy because also you cannot, if I remember correctly, the digital version of the game you cannot buy. And then our last piece of news. Really quick.
Yes, in case anyone's wondering, yes, I still have my tree up. This is a unanimous tree. I don't care.
Let me see. Why do you have your Christmas tree up? It's March.
It's unisex.
Again, shout outs to my wife.
Oh my god. Let me see something. No, never mind. There's no news about the expansion. I thought there was, but we're gonna talk about the movie really quick. So the movie, apparently, the Resident Evil movie that's coming out later this year, from what critics have been saying, because people have been saying they've seen the you know how people will see like the movie before its release day, like the test screening.
Yeah.
There are people right now who are saying this movie is gonna be lit. It's gonna be fire. People are actually saying that Zach Kreger did this movie justice. No, you don't see any of the original characters. It's still within the lore of Resident Evil, but it's doing something new. But apparently, and from what I've seen, people are saying it's Mad Max Fury Road meets it's Fury Road meets shoot, I can't remember what I think it said. I gotta look this up. Really quick. But it's like Fury Road meets zombies. That's essentially what they said. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh no.
Which I have no problem with. I love Mad Max Fury Road. It's not my favorite Mad Max movie, but I can tell you right now that it was worth the watch, and it's worth getting the 4K Steelbook.
Really?
Yeah. And I think I honestly might need to apologize for my comments last week about Resident Evil. I think my issue is that I just don't want this movie to suck.
I stand by my statement. I'm gonna have to watch the movie, but if it sucks,
oh yeah,
we're gonna have some issues.
Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know. But outside of that, I'm going to give this movie a chance. Maybe we weren't really clear on the fact that maybe we weren't clear on what our thoughts were about the movie and how it's going thus far. I just want the movie to be good. That's it.
Same.
And all right, so this is what it says. It's Fury Road. No, it's this is what it says. It's a horror version of Fury Road, all gas, no brakes. So, if that's the case, again, I'm a Mad Max fan, and I love Fury Road. I'm gonna be like Jacob Fatu, all gas, no brakes with it. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel right now. If that's the case, then I'm gonna go in full force watching this movie. I want to give this movie a chance. I think Zach Cregger is a phenomenal director. If I remember correctly, he did direct the Weapons, which was one of my favorite movies of last year. I love Weapons. Weapons was a he did. Weapons was a phenomenal movie. I want to give this man a chance. I'm not gonna, because he also worked on one of my other favorite movies, Barbarians. If you've never seen Barbarians is really good. He directed Barbarians and wrote it, and he was the director, the writer, and the producer of Weapons.
Oh wow!
And he was the producer of Companion. And if you've not seen Companion yet, Huey from The Boys, we coming for you, bro.
Oh no, bro!
He was dead wrong. I'll leave it at that.
But
yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That's all the Resident Evil stuff I can think of. We do have community questions before we get out of here. First one, and I actually had to let me look. Okay, someone asked this, and I want your thoughts on this. These are anime questions. We were asked this. What dub do you think was better? The original Dragon Ball Z Funimation dub, or the Dragon Ball Z Kai dub? Now, this is a safe space. I'm going to say this right now. Safe space. I am here. Go ahead.
Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Okay. High five. High five. High five. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. And let me explain why. You can explain yours afterwards. Here are 3 reasons why I think the Dragon Ball Z Kai dub is light years better than the original dub. Now, granted, I want to say this right now. There are parts of the original Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z that I will say that Kai could never replicate ever again. If they said the android free to be the end of all of us, you can never replicate that. I love that. That is one of the Eric Vale was on something when he did that, and I loved it. When Vegeta was openly admitted that he let Majin Buu, Babidi possess him so he can fight Goku at his max capacity, loved that. The speech that Goku gave, now corny as hell. Ally the Good Nightmare to You. I can't honestly. I can't stand that. But at the time, it was heat. It was major heat. Okay. But there are things from the original dubbing that I will say you can never replicate. But when it comes to Dragon Ball Z Kai dubbing it doesn't feel as if the voice actors are just straight up reading from the script.
For real,
they read it. They got the idea and they just went into it.
Exactly. Shout outs to all the voice actors.
Yeah, and honestly, I understand a lot of people love it because of the Bruce Falconer music. I get it. I understand.
But my thing is this: with the music from Dragon Ball Z Kai dubbed, it fits. It fits more than the Bruce Falconer Falconer music. I'm sorry to say this. I grew up with that, but Dragon Ball Z
We all
Kai,
did.
the music fits better.
I will say that it does. There are times where it does, and there's times where it doesn't. I think where the music that they use when Gohan beats Cell, that could have been used for the Dragon Ball Z Kai dub. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Um, and whenever like Vegeta, like down, 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 I love that. Okay, but I think another thing that makes me love the Kai dub more than the original Dragon Ball Z dub, it feels as if all the voice actors get a second chance. And by
Yes,
that, I mean
I'm sorry. I love when he was screamed, "I am the Super Saiyan Son Goku."
yes. I think that a lot of the Kai dub is a second chance for a lot of voice actors who did voice, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Trunks, all of them get a second chance, a second win to be like, okay, I saw what I did here. How can I do this differently with the new
Exactly.
version of Dragon Ball Z?
Exactly.
I love that. I love the idea that like, hey, we're about to put our foot in this piece.
I'm still trying to get my wife to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai.
And honestly, and this is not just about the voice acting. I just think Kai is better when it comes to pacing.
It is.
I will say this. I think they should have kept the Garlic Jr. saga in Kai, but that's just me personally. And the other World Tournament arc, I think they all should have stayed in Dragon Ball Z Kai. And not
Yeah, they should have.
But it is what it is. But yeah, so that's one. The other, and this, oh god, because I'm going to this. This is one person asked, and this is a One Piece question. Would we ever jump back into One Piece? Or are we in One Piece right now? Because I know you're watching the show. You're watching the live action One Piece show right now.
Yes, I am.
He's driving me crazy.
I don't watch One Piece. I will say this right now. I stopped watching One Piece after Skypiea. After Skypiea, I stopped. Because this is around the time, spoiler alert, this is when I found out that Luffy's brother Ace got whacked. Okay? At that point, I stopped watching the show in general, because Ace was my favorite character. I had no reason to go back to watching the show at that point. It's almost as bad as when I found out about a certain character in 911 does die later in the show, and I'm pissed about it. The fact that I'm still watching 911 is a testament, because I love the show. But would I ever actually jump back into watching One Piece? Here are 3 ways I am going to jump back into One Piece. Because I like the characters. I want to say this right now. I do think that the characters in One Piece are freaking fantastic. My favorite character is Zoro. I love Zoro. Outside of Ace, Zoro and Nico Robin are my favorite characters in the show. And Usopp. Those are my 3 favorites. Here are 3 ways I will jump back into One Piece. 1, I'm just going to watch the live action show and watch them do concise versions of all the stories. I already know, someone spoiled this. It wasn't a big spoiler, but for season 2, they do introduce some of the characters that you will see in the other arcs. I know that they've already introduced I know they are, if I remember correctly, they did introduce Don Hio Doflamingo.
Yeah.
They already introduced him. And they already introduced other characters. Did they introduce Inaru yet from Skypiea?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Because if they do, I'm like, yo, that's freaking lit. And I know they've already introduced Nico Robin. They're about to, and if I remember correctly, this arc, does it go into the Alabasta arc? Where
that's season 3. That's season 3 and is coming in 2027.
Okay. So I am completely fine with them introducing the characters that we see later on now. I am fine with it. I think it's a great way to differentiate itself from the anime and the manga. So I'm either gonna watch the show, play the video games, because there's so many One Piece video games on the PS3 and PS4 and PS5 that pretty much give you a crash course. Give me a second. That gives you a crash course on One Piece and what you missed. I would rather do that. Or, and this might piss some of you off, I'm gonna need y'all to really hear me out. They need to do compilation movies.
They need to.
We need more compilation movies in animes, especially animes that are long running shows. One of my biggest issues, and I don't know how I managed to do this with Bleach. Maybe because I skipped the 300 episodes of filler.
Mm-hmm.
We need more long running anime shows that are more than 100 episodes to have compilation movies.
I agree.
Mobile Suit Gundam did a fantastic job making, like, if you didn't want to watch all 42 episodes of OG Gundam, yeah, you watch the 3 movies. They were more of like concise, watered down versions, but you understood the premise and it got you from point A to point B. Granted, it does sacrifice, character development in certain in big moments, but hey, if I'm trying to catch up, oh my bad, I'll do it in a minute. If I'm trying to get into the show,
Mm-hmm.
I think compilation movies would work.
I agree.
Me having to
100%.
sacrifice hours upon hours of content, because again, I don't got time for that. Right, like I don't have time for that like that anymore. I'm not in my 20s. I'm a father, and I'm in my 30s. Give me a compilation movie of One Piece, and I'm talking. I know they did have compilation movies to begin with. I think it went up to the Alabasta arc, and then they stopped.
Yep.
They finished the Alabasta arc, and then they stopped making compilation movies after that. And then all the other ones, the crossover with Dragon Ball, and the other one with the blue hair dude, and then One Piece Red, and that was it. We need more compilation movies for people like me. Okay? If you do more compilation movies, obviously, 110% I will jump back into One Piece.
Exactly.
Until then, I don't know how I'm going to jump back into One Piece with the show. And no, I'm not going to jump back to the beginning. I already know the beginnings. I already know how Luffy met Zoro, how he fought Buggy the Clown. I know how he met Nami. I know how he met Usopp and fought the Freddy Krueger fool with the freaking claws. I know how they met Sanji. I know that Nami was actually trying to stole all the goods from the Straw Hat pirate ship, the Mayflower, and was going to try to buy her island back from Arlong and Arlong's crew after when they were kids. Arlong killed her mama in front of her and her sister. I know about that. I know about them meeting Chopper. I know that Nami got sick. I know about Princess Vivi being the Princess of Alabasta. I know about Baroque Works. I know about Crocodile. I know all this stuff. I don't need to go back. Don't you dare tell me to go back and watch this. No. Don't you do that. Don't try to pull that on me. Well, maybe if you go back and watch it, like you'll understand what I already know. And honestly, I don't have to anymore because the One Piece show exists, and I can get a concise version of what happens.
Oh, and also shout out to the guy that plays Zoro in the live action One Piece. He's going to be at Anime NYC this year for Friday and Saturday.
But yeah, so if you want my opinion, people, if you really want me to jump back into One Piece and maybe at some point we start reviewing anime shows, because we need to review Gundam. I'm just gonna say this again. Gundam is in the works. Okay, I was thinking about doing a Gundam Wing shorts, but honestly, Mike, if you're down, you want to redo Gundam, you want to watch Gundam Wing together? I already finished it.
Let's do it.
It's on Hulu.
It is?
Yeah, it's on. Oh yeah, all 48 episodes are on Hulu.
Oh, damn.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, watch it and then we'll do a review, and then we'll probably we'll probably start reviewing all the other Gundam shows after that. We'll jump back into and we'll talk about that later. But
yeah,
One Piece, I would say play the video games, just like in Mobile Suit Gundam in the Gundam games. They give you concise versions. All the PS2 Gundam games, the PS3 Gundam games, the Dynasty Warrior Gundam games, all give you recaps of what happened. Just do that.
exactly.
That's my opinion. But that's about it. Again, I like One Piece. I want to be involved with the community because I think One Piece is on paper it's a great show. I'm not about to watch 1,000 episodes just to find out there's only one season.
Mm-mm.
And then there's a season 2. You got me messed up.
I agree.
You got me messed up. I want to love One Piece. I really do, people. 1,000 episodes of season 1, and they're about to only make 13 episodes for season 2.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if it's worth it.
It's not.
And honestly, this is just my personal opinion. Nathan Drake and Laura Croft would find the One Piece in 2 weeks. Just give them 2 weeks, and they would have found that just like that. But I am done, people. That is the community questions, and that's the end of the podcast. I gotta get ready for work in the next hour or so. Mike, what are your closing statements for the new episode of the Gamer Podcast, and what do you have planned this weekend? Go.
This weekend I am, since it's gonna be nicer out, I plan on taking the family to Central Park.
Oh yeah.
And shout outs to my nephew. His birthday is tomorrow.
Hey. Cool. Let's see. My week this weekend. I am probably going to see the Mario Galaxy movie. So so be on the lookout for our review. And we'll probably by the end of tomorrow, we'll let you guys know when we're going to be reviewing the other major movies that came out last year. And we'll start making a list of retro movies we're going to be taking a look at as well. So
definitely
we'll be discussing that afterwards. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Buttery Show. Facebook.com/The Buttery Show. Make sure to follow and like our posts. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Buttery Show. And if you want to get a hold of any of us, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TheReckless_Fox, and Twitch.tv/RecklessFox. Mike, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at Instagram at Red Ranger 2134, TikTok at Red Falcon 212, and Facebook under Michael Brogdon.
With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the Game Raider Podcast, and we will see y'all same time next week. Well, earlier. We'll be here on time. Until then, guys, we'll see y'all later. Peace.